watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and
You can have your own party on TV. Party with R.J. Watkins and the TV33 family when you hold your own Facebook watch party. Connect all your friends with our friends, and we can have a watch party together. Watch your favorite TV shows when you want, how you want, with your favorite people. Here's how it works. Log on to Facebook from your computer or tablet and go to the R.J. Watkins fan page at facebook.com/TV33WHPR, the one with the blue WHPR logo on the left. Like us. Click the word videos with the red tag that says live next to it. Then click the share button at the bottom of the video player and select start a watch party. Invite whoever you want. Your party will be recorded and archived for playback anytime you want. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. At the end of the month, the viewer that has the most people at their watch party will be invited on the TV show live. Come on, let's have a party.
They argued on the play. He said, no, that's mine. So they sharing it. Thank you.
Once again, and every week. Bon appetit. Good as hell, man.
Called support right there,
Bon
Brother
appetit.
Lee.
to the bone, it was good. Bad to the bone.
Bad to the bone.
Good to the bone.
That's good thing.
Come on, get the chicken.
That's it. Yeah, come get the chicken.
This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy Jones. I want to invite you to listen, to watch, and to participate every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's right, from 9 to 10 a.m. That's the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Dr. Talk. Make sure you tune in every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's Talk Beat Jones. Remember, tell your friends. Talk Beat Jones, we're now on Sundays from 9 to 10 a.m.
WHPR-TV is now on Channel 90. Check out all of your favorite morning talk shows on Comcast Channel 90 every day from 7 a.m. to 12 noon, and watch us anytime, day or night, on all of your favorite devices. Download the WHPR-TV Now app and take us with you wherever you go. WHPR-TV is now on Comcast Channel 90 every day from 7 a.m. till noon. WHPR-TV, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.
Has age finally caught up with you? Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or kidney disease? Well, look and feel younger today. We discovered a new product that promotes appearance and joint issues by the way of collagen, HA, and other super ingredients, without injections. This product will significantly improve joint mobility, help with high blood pressure, kidney disease, and diabetes. It'll also help your skin as well. Call us now at 706-319-0255 or 313-885-4321.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and want to thank you for joining us today on the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones, and remember to tell your friends, it's that time. It's that time, that Dr. Talk. I'm on the air waiting to hear from you today. Let's talk about what's going on locally. Let's talk about what's going on around the world because, again, as you know, the program reaches all around the world. And, of course, we want to find out what's on your mind on today's program, Talk Beat Jones. And what is Talk Beat Jones? It's about having you talk and getting that addiction to understand it is good, it's fine, it's great to talk on Talk Beat Jones. Express yourself on Talk Beat Jones. We're live. Talk to me. I have a caller ready. Sir,
Yes, sir.
would you identify yourself real quickly, please?
Rusty Jackson, Oakland, California.
And Rusty, because when people are listening to you talk, I need to just get a little background so they understand that you're just not someone that's down in the basement throwing out some ideas. Who are you, sir?
Well, I'm a former professional baseball player.
Yes, sir.
Was once a presidential fellow under President Carter.
Yes, sir.
I was the chief of staff to the first African-American mayor of Oakland, Lionel Wilson.
Yes, sir.
I was the chief of staff to the first black treasurer tax collector in the history of Alameda County, Donald White.
Yes, sir.
I've
And
been
his
a
wife,
broker-
his wife used to also attend, and for years was a member of the Jones Asides workout studio.
There we go. And then I was a registered representative with Morgan Stanley.
Now, when you say a registered representative from Morgan Stanley, what is that?
Basically, it's a stockbroker.
Okay.
But instead of focusing on retail, I did more institutional stuff.
Okay.
So I instead of doing transactions for individuals, I did it for government entities.
So you're a bad brother with the money.
Well, I know how to mess with it, that's for sure.
Okay. I just want the folks to understand the quality of the persons that they're listening to. You know, these are just not somebody that's just, you know, and I appreciate everyone's calls and their opinions, etc. However, we have to understand that there are some folks who got the understanding of how to make these things work. And I do know that you are preparing to do some work with State Rep Isaac Robertson, as well as Mr. Otis Mathis. Please continue.
Well, you know, we were talking about the affordable housing.
Yes, sir.
And
Hold on,
I
Sylvia.
just believe that, you know, we need to do that through the churches.
Okay.
We've had churches that have, like I said, in Oakland, that have built affordable housing and senior housing. And if you look at from a historical perspective, the one institution that has been a constant throughout our time in this country is the black church.
Yes, sir.
The one institution that has more money flowing through it than any other institution in our community is the black church.
Yes, sir.
Black banks come
Yes.
and go,
Yes.
but the black church is still here. And so, you know, we now as a community of individuals have to have a collective thought process to say, I can't do this on my own.
Right, right, right.
And maybe one church can't do it on its own, but 2 or 3 churches can do it, you know, and we can leverage the value of the money coming into that church 3 or 4 to 1 with banks, insurance companies, and pension funds that want to get into that type of housing market.
That's right.
So
That's
we
right.
just have to have a strategy, understand that it's a slow process, but also understand that with people like State Rep Robinson, we can probably get legislation passed, or at least he can be the catalyst for us working towards legislation where that property that's owned by the federal government has to be sold to nonprofits first.
Okay. Hold on, Steph.
Okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because that's what they do with tax defaulted property.
Mm-hmm.
Nonprofits, if you losing your property because you can't afford to pay your property taxes, nonprofits, at least in California, have an opportunity to bid on that property first.
Right, right. Okay. You know, but when you speak of the church, you know, you have to have strong leadership with visions, with a vision. You know, the leadership under Bishop Jackson and the leadership at the Allen Temple Church is visionary. They don't just have you come to church. They build housing. They built business for their folk and other folks in the community to have employment. They built business that provided food, not just hand out bags of food, but where you went to the restaurants that they built and had a good price for some wonderful, great food. Is that right, Rusty?
Billy, you bowling down my alley, because one of the things that I'm proposing is that it goes beyond housing.
Yes.
Is that we start to strive to control the economy of our neighborhood. And what does that mean? That means we buy the dry cleaners, we buy the laundromat, we buy the local convenience store, we buy the local gas station. Okay, that way we can put our people to work.
That's right.
If churches pool their funds to do that, the strategy is not buy and hold. The strategy is to buy, put members of your congregation in that business, get them trained, make sure the business is successful, sell it to those people, then you go and buy the next level up. And what I'm talking about is not new, because Malcolm X told us way back in the day, we need to control the economy of our community. And I'm going to say something, and I think Mary said it.
Okay.
About Ben Carson and what she wanted to do to him.
Well,
I want to quote a third-generation Baptist minister who's down in Texas, Frederick Douglass Haynes III, who says, not all of my people are all my kind. and so we have to realize that.
Well, hold on, Russ.
Okay.
In fact, Rusty, I'm leaving it so that if you want to talk back and forth with the next caller, you are in a conference call mode, okay?
Okay.
All right. Sylvia?
Yes.
Talk to me.
I'm so glad the gentleman brought up so many issues that I have been observing myself. The greatest trick that's been used, tools for us
Sylvia?
is religiously and politically.
Sylvia, I want you to know that you actually can talk directly to Rusty as well.
Rusty, yeah.
He's listening, and he can talk back and forth with you as well.
Yeah, Rusty, I feel that the greatest tool used against the people was religiously and politically. They seem to have joined to the hips as extended antennas, and they're allowing the atrocities that's happening. There is no way that we have all these mega churches and we don't have a mega educational center, a mega economical learning center, a culturally learning center, anything that's needed to help these people to stop being walking dead on this earth. We got too many of our children that we're losing, these baggy pants. Young men don't know the concepts of why they're wearing baggy pants, don't know why. And then you got the old heads as well as the young heads who will vote against their best interests, who will buy into loving their enemy and sitting there talking about, oh, they're going to do what they're going to do. And they have the defeatist attitude. And so they are trained that they'll get their pie in the sky when they die. In the meantime, the enemy is making heaven on earth, and the rest of us are getting hell on earth every day. And it's going through generational and generational. Why? Because our so-called mega churches that used to be the pillar of the community has become an antenna of a Republican Party. And the Democrats, like you said, spineless. So to me, they're all in one big club. And guess who ain't in it? The masses who don't have a clue of the tools that's being used against us.
Miss Sylvia, it's Sunday morning, and you've already preached the sermon before I go to church, and I'm appreciative of everything you're saying. But let me say this, because I agree with you on multiple levels. I'm not going to give up on the church. I will tell you this. Everybody talking about Jesus ain't going to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So that you know, you got good pastors and you got some not so good pastors, and I'm not sophisticated enough to say who's who and what's what, because I don't know what their heart is. But I do know this, that it's going to have to be that the masses, people like you and me, people that think like you and me, have to direct our church leaders where they need to go to get our community where we need to be. You know, fragmentation is what's killed us. And Mary said it, and you just said it. Historically, the powers that be pick their so-called black person.
That's right.
And put them in a visible position, not a position of power, but a position of visibility. And then they give them a script and they say, "Here, boy, go do this."
That's right. That's right.
Hold on, Sylvia. Let me bring Theo into this conversation, okay?
Yes.
Hold on. Miss Theo Broden of Hood Research, who also has a television show here at TV WHPS on Mondays from 10 from
9 a.m. to 10:30.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot. You right after the hair doctor.
That's right.
And the hair doctor's on from 8 to 9 a.m.
Right.
The hair doctor, and I do sit in with the hair doctor, and then I see you walking in with your beautiful self from 9 to 10:30. Okay, hit us up, Theo.
Thank you. Well.
Oh, and by the way, Theo, you're able to communicate with Rusty right up. Also, Rusty, you can communicate with Theo as well.
Right.
Okay.
Happy Sunday to all of you.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thank you.
I just did that.
Oh, first thing I want to say is thank you, Rusty, for being against the facial recognition technology in California. Oakland voted it down. San Francisco voted it down. And California totally is against facial recognition technology.
That's right.
Here in the city of Detroit, Rusty, they're trying to use us as a guinea pig. And they had a ballot question called right to work. It had nothing to do with your right to work. And they tricked people into voting for it. Now they're trying to trick people into supporting facial recognition, which really has nothing to do with it. It is community surveillance, and it is not preventative. And in my opinion, the more technology they can put out there, the fewer police officers they can put on the street. And they have the money to hire police officers. So to have that going on is just disgusting.
But you know, but Theo, I'm going to just step in and I'll step back out. I hope that we do understand that the police department have already, the city council gave almost $1 million plus for the police department to have that equipment already in use. So it wasn't a process of them saying, well, if we vote this down, then we won't have this facial recognition system. It is already in place. It's already bought and paid for. So what they look like they had to do is try to find a way so that they can actually come out and let folks know they're using it. Because they've already got the software and everything is in place, etc. already.
Right, but it's not in all locations. They tried out some locations, as I said, to make Detroit a guinea pig. That's what it is. And the more of this AI they use, AI, artificial intelligence, the less live bodies they can put on the street. We need preventive measures, not reactive measures.
Yes.
It takes pictures of people. That's after the fact.
Talk to me.
Downtown Detroit has cameras everywhere. Detroit has them. Private businesses has them. Dan Gilbert has them all over the place. And there's still crime downtown.
That's right.
So
right.
for them to try and make the community believe that this is the be-all and end-all of fighting crime is ridiculous.
Well, you know, with the green light, that was supposedly going to make those places safe.
Well, the issue with the green light is this. They say they have 500 of them throughout the city of Detroit. They do not have 500 people sitting there watching the cameras 24/7. They don't.
Yes.
So to make you believe that is the best thing since sliced bread is just taking folks' money. They can have their own private cameras up and not spend the kind of money that the green light system costs.
Well, Rusty, tell me, why did they turn down the facial identification system in your area? San Francisco Bay Area?
Privacy concerns. Strictly privacy concerns. You don't know how that facial recognition can be used once your image is captured.
Good point.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's say that somebody with your general characteristics commits a crime. Or they have a description of someone, but not an actual picture. But now they can go to their facial recognition file and punch in this description and come up with a whole slew of faces. And now you're being questioned for a crime that you have no association with whatsoever.
And Rusty, you know, that system, that situation, you know, I'm a live testimonial to that situation because I was accused of of committing a murder. And they came to my Jones Assize facility to pick me up.
Oh, wow.
You know Al Ballard. They had Al Ballard, and I was told. I mean, the people that would describe the shooter described me, that it was me. And when they came to my club, fortunately, Rusty, as you know, because you filmed me and my Jones Assize ladies performing at the Jim Hines Olympic situation in downtown. But I performed, and I happened to have performed at the Naval Club, Officers Club, and there was a guy who looked just like me. I didn't know until I saw the pictures.
Oh, wow.
And there I was in my workout outfit, and there was a guy behind me to the side of me, and I'll be darned, like I said, if I didn't know, I would have thought it was me.
Oh, wow.
So when the police came in, the inspectors, when they came in, the detectives, I should say, came in to question me and want to take me down. I'm saying, you know, I finally got pissed off and said, well, look, man, I'm just an honest businessman. All I've been doing is doing business all my life here. You know, I'm known throughout the community, etc. And then I looked.
Oh.
And I looked and I saw the picture. I had 3 pictures. And I said, look, there's I said, which one is me? Which one is me? And they looked. And they looked at each other. And I said, now there I am right there. Now who is the other guy? Now I can't be in 2 places at the same time. Which is me? I'm there. I'm here. Look at me. Look at him. Can you tell us the difference? So in this black city of Detroit, where they've said that the facial identification system will not be able to necessarily identify people of color. Hit on that, Rusty.
That's not true.
It's not?
That's not true.
Okay.
Once they capture your picture,
Okay.
it's in a file somewhere.
Wow.
You know, but listen, let's even look at the deeper problem. The deeper problem is,
Hold on, Sylvia.
who makes the decision about the expansion of AI?
What's AI?
Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Okay, I look at what it's doing in the medical world, and man, that's something special. But if you look at what it's doing to the general population, because of AI, the general population is becoming less intelligent. Look at these kids now that do everything on their mobile device. They can't add numbers in their head. They can't remember phone numbers like we did when we were kids.
That's right.
They can't read a map.
Right.
That's not making us more intelligent. That's making us reliant on something other than ourselves.
Okay. Okay.
Point.
Hold on, Russ.
Okay? When you rely on something other than yourself, you become less strong mentally, physically, emotionally.
Now, what you're speaking, I want to come, Sylvia, I'm going to come to you in just a moment, but Theo,
Yes.
you know, when he talks about that intelligence, the ability to remember, the ability to recapture thoughts, you are a master of that. You are a person that don't have your sight, and yet people who have watched you have accused you of being able to see. Because you are able to describe any and everything down to the last bit of detail. And if they're talking about going somewhere in Detroit, you can tell them where it is, what is located next to, and all these other particulars. If we call, we want some numbers and stuff. Basically,
They call me.
they call you.
Remember, you know what was funny yesterday? I was out with a friend, and she picked up a coin off of the ground
Yes.
and threw it in the car. You know, they had the little thing in the center of their vehicle. I said, why you just throw the quarter in the car? She says, what? I said, you just threw a quarter in there, didn't you? She said, yes. How do you know that? I said, by the sound.
Yes. Yes.
You know, if people just pay attention,
Okay.
study sounds, study situations, they can do the same thing. They're always telling me that I have an excellent memory. And when I was growing up, I thought, well, doesn't everybody? But when you pay attention to sounds and situations and things that surround you, it just makes your own intelligence stronger.
Well, Rusty, it goes back, and Sylvia, I'm coming to you next. Rusty, it goes back to like when you're playing ball, and they tell you to tune everything else out. Well, as people, as you're speaking of the youngsters and us, we tune everything else out because I can go to the computer, my phone, and Google this, Google that. If I don't know what all these answers are, I can go to my computer, my phone, and my Google search will tell me what I need to know. Hello, Lord, if I lose the phone, and I've lost 3 or 4 of them, and information, etc. But at any rate, hold on, please. Hold on, Theo. Sylvia?
Yes.
I'm glad you're holding. I want to get you back into the conversation, please.
I want to tell y'all, Miss Daisy, Miss Theo, I have been driving her around, and she has been helping me when I'm lost. I was just talking to her yesterday, and I said, Theo, I'm going the wrong way. Aren't I? I'm over here when I should be over there. She said, you certainly are. I made a U-turn, and I got to my destination yesterday. I just had to put that out. But the facial recognition, Rusty, we found out that they were already doing it without authority.
That's right.
Without the authority, they wasn't. And so now that's why they coming back into play now, because it's all about that contract. And people have to understand that they're watching their property. And the property is not only the land, it's the people. And the people don't understand that. It's the masses that are watching you, because it's always been about the body fines and the fees. It's not about protection or your safety. So, we have to wake up the masses, because they just don't see it like that. But I've already said in protest, and many of us are saying the same thing, in protest, we're going to have to start wearing our masks. We'll be in Mardi Gras, surgical, Halloween, Muslim attire, cover up your head and your face. But we have to do something to protest as well as protect your face and your identity, because these people are in it to win it, and they're in it to survive off of you. Your pain is their gain, and people need to understand this.
Fantastic.
That's such a true statement, and it's real interesting because, again, they use us against us.
Yes.
And when we do right, that never gets publicized.
That's
so
right.
when you see a single father taking care of his kids, that never gets publicized. But see a black man in a confrontation with the police, and that's on the media everywhere.
Yes, yes.
One of the things that we as a people need to do, and I heard this statement several times, if you want to get something by black people, put it in writing, because they don't read.
Right. Okay.
And so we need to go back and check out this author, George Orwell. He wrote a book called A Brave New World and another one called 1984, where he predicted a lot of the things that we're experiencing now.
Yes.
And one of the things that he predicted was that you will go to work and they will give you something called Soma, a drug which will make you happy, so that your time at work is really a mindless existence of doing whatever it is your job is, and then off work you get more Soma and you go home and whoop-de-wop-de-whoop. Dude, that's where we're headed.
Wow.
And if people don't pay attention, okay, how can what happened to Flint with the water happen anywhere in the most advanced country in the freaking world? How can that happen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay? And it hasn't been corrected yet.
Yes. Yep.
How
And
can
people
that
losing
happen?
property.
What was that, Sylvia?
Sylvia? All of these
People are losing their homes because they don't want to pay for poison.
Hold on, Russ. What were you saying,
Okay.
Sylvia?
Rusty, people are losing their property because they don't want to pay for the poison.
Yes,
And
I
Flint.
understand. Listen, when you don't have hope, you don't see a reason to fight. If you got hope, you got a reason to fight.
That's
Without hope, you got no reason. And that's what's happening to our people. We are so slowly having our hope taken away on so many levels.
Hold on, Sylvia. Theo,
Yeah. Well,
what is your thoughts?
well, he was mentioning.
In fact, you can talk directly to him.
Oh, all right, right. You were talking about the two books, and if people don't fight and they're just doing things mindlessly, what they end up becoming is food. You remember Soylent Green?
Yes.
That movie, and the people became food. It's sick, but anyway.
Wait, did you say people became food?
That's right.
F-O-O-D, food?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep, there was a film out, I guess probably around the same time Animal Farm and 1984 and all those were out. And people were just being put into isolation, the brain's taken, and they became food for those in charge.
Wow.
And this computer system and the technology is helpful. I'm not saying it's not helpful, but when it is being misused to manipulate the minds of people who are using AI, then we really have some problems. And it would be easy to lose hope in a situation like that.
Okay. Rusty, what do you think what are your thoughts on that?
You know, I have not seen that movie, but I don't, white folks are very creative.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me that they would put something like that in the movie, and it would not surprise me if we evolved to the point where what happened in the movie happened in real life.
Mm. Well, it has happened in real life because we have had some Jeffrey Dahmer, what's his name?
Yeah,
Jeffrey
Dahmer.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was
sir.
focusing in on black males. He was. He would catch them, kill them, cut them up, cook them, and eat them.
There's something going around the internet now about us, and I forget the number, so please forgive me, but it's a significant number of young black girls and black women that have disappeared in this country.
Yes.
And these are the kind of things that, number one, we have to find out if it's true or if it's an urban legend.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, if it is true, we need to galvanize to find out what the heck is going on.
Right. The number was like 60,000, wasn't it? But
Something like that. It's a big number.
60,000. The other thing is has to do with science fiction. Do you remember the Jetsons?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And now all of a sudden they're talking about these, what are these things flying around? The little thing that are flying, they're talking about delivering...
the drones.
Thank you. Drones. Now, they're talking about drones delivering packages, drones coming to deliver food to your home, and people flying around. Now, can't you imagine the traffic jam? That's going to really be a mess.
Also, can you imagine the fact that you get someone who is mentally ill with those drones?
Mm-hmm.
Just think, I can put a bomb or I can put some poison on a drone and direct that drone to whatever place I want it to go and drop that bomb or drop that poison from the air over those areas.
Right. and they didn't just come out. They were being used already. You remember when the man shot Dr. Martin Luther King?
Yes.
He was in the building across the street, and all of a sudden they were able to find him and shoot him. Now, one person now, but they couldn't use tear gas or tear bombs. They had to kill him so they wouldn't actually find out all of the facts about the murder of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Hold on, please. Sylvia?
Yes. Rusty, have you heard of the American Art of War? That's another good book that we need to introduce to our youth and our old heads. The Art of War by Professor Michael Griggs. And
I have not, but I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, in here he tells you the principle of wars, the confusion, the demoralization, disabling, discipline, division, distraction, fear, generosity, intelligence, overwhelm.
Sylvia, what's the name of that book again?
Okay, African American Art of War. It's a
Okay.
second edition by Michael Griggs, Griggs, and he says what fate awaits the man and his family if the future of that man is crafted by his oppressor. And so I have been saying it before I even read this book. Before I even read this book, I was saying it.
Now,
I was saying that we are being killed psychologically, economically, chemically, mentally, and that's why we got a lot of mental walking dead in our communities because they know not what's coming, and it's being done to them on a daily.
hold on, Sylvia. I want to say this, and Theo, I got you back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let us take a moment and look at what happened with the Charter Commission review, commissioners meeting, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The time that they spoke about how those 3 folks are there and they got the other 6 working against them, and all of that infighting that was going on is still going on.
Yes.
They got bamboozled.
Yeah.
They just got bamboozled. And I listened to them. I listened to some of the radio hosts that I'm sure is in part of behind the scenes talking with some of the people on the commission in terms of how they need to appease these 3 folks and the community. And here is something we can do. We talk about moving the Charter Commission meetings from where it's located now to another location that those 3 want.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they do? They judged it, or they made it work so that they can say, look, we'll let them win this one. So what we'll do is we'll have one commissioner don't show up. We'll have another commissioner leave early so that the vote can go in favor of those 3 folks to get the movement done. And they think, wow, we won. No, you didn't win. You got bamboozled because they simply set you up to say, this ain't nothing. We'll go ahead and let them have this one because we can't take them and keep running them over on everything. But when it comes down to us doing what we have to do, the reason we are placed in our seats as commissioners, we will handle that business regardless of what those 3 folks say or regardless of what the community say. So now some of the uproar has kind of died down because why? They got bamboozled. The commissioners that were the 3, they feel good because they got a win. The community say, okay, they're working together. They got a win. You're being bamboozled. You're being bamboozled. You got some folks who are playing both sides and you're not even aware of it. Community, you better open your eyes, look, open them up, and then open your ears, and then use your mouth to talk because you are being bamboozled. You watch what I've said to you today. Go right ahead, Theo.
Well, what people need to do is go to the focus groups. They have focus groups that are called to review the points in the charter. As an example, You know, everybody gets sworn in except the city elected officials. They don't have an oath of office. Craziest thing I ever heard. Anyway, it was taken out of the charter, and now is the time to insist that the oath of office be restored in the charter. That's being talked about in a focus group.
Now,
they have other focus groups for personnel. They have focus groups for all of the other sections of the charter.
what power do the focus groups have?
To formulate the wording that is going to go into the charter, then it gets voted on by the commissioners, charter commissioners.
But those are the suggested
Uh-huh.
situations
Yes,
that they
are.
bring to the charter commission
Correct, to the commissioner.
at their meeting to be
Yes.
voted upon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because the wording is wonderful, the group has thought it out, but if it's not in the interest of those 6 folks who are on that charter commission, it's not going to pass.
Uh-huh. But the people need to find out what's going to be presented.
But even if it's, the process again is, what are you going to do with that 6 folk who have the power to say, I don't care how great it is? No.
Well, I'm looking forward to them not to be elected to any other position.
Okay, but we're speaking on where they are now and what the situation is going on with this
people
charter
are
commission
talking-
group that's in our office right today.
Well, there are people in the community who are talking about recalling them.
Okay.
And
Well-
don't know whether they will or have started that yet.
Hold on, please.
We have been talking to various people in the community to find out what they want to do.
Okay. Rusty,
Yes.
just go right ahead.
That charter commission, are they dealing with the issue of redistricting?
Hold on. Let me let you talk with someone who can answer your questions with you back and forth, okay?
Okay.
And
I'm not
Sylvia, I'm going to
supportive
come back to you. Theo, is that information that you have?
Well,
Yeah, the charter commission, are they dealing with the issue of redistricting?
the state did that. They passed a law in the state which says that it has to be done because it has not been fair in the past. They have divided up the population so that the Republicans have a stronger.
But hold on, y'all. We're not talking because that does that pertain to Detroit itself, by itself?
It includes Detroit, yes.
No, I'm saying
Redistricting.
what I'm saying is I'm not trying to be disrespectful to other folk, but I'm talking about the charter commission that we're speaking of only have the power to deal with what is going on inside of Detroit. Is that true?
Yes, that's correct.
So the
Charter
redistricting-
Commission did not deal with the redistricting. That's
So that's out of that's out of their powers.
correct.
Okay, so what we have so limited time, so I want to speak on the areas that we have that we can talk on with the folks that we can say they have the power to deal with, please.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Okay, hold on. Sylvia,
Yeah.
what's your
The
thoughts?
city charter mandated community meeting is coming up Thursday the 26th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. It'll be at Coleman Young on the 13th floor, and they will be allowing free parking. So for information, call Keely Walker, and that's 313-224-3392.
Can you give that? Could you
224-3392.
Yeah. Would you give that name and the number again slowly, please?
Yes, Keely Walker at 313-224-3392. Because people need to know how to park for free, because that's why they're sending it down there, because they know it's going to be hard for folks to get around, get down, and then have to worry about parking. But they're offering free parking, and they need to call to get that. It's in the Ford Underground Garage, which is 30 East Jefferson Avenue.
Sylvia, did I mistake what I was saying when they voted to allow the meetings to be moved from the Coleman A. Young Center situation?
They were fighting to keep it from going to the Coleman Young Center because they wanted it in the communities where it would be easy for people to get to these meetings. And so, of course, they keep sending it down there anyway because we already know the game plan. We we already know that they're trying to make it less accessible for people to get around that may not can travel that far, don't have a car. Because you talk about 7 and 8 at night.
But
you
I
know
thought
our seniors not coming out late.
but I thought but I thought, Sylvia, that at the last meeting that they had voted to move the meetings back into the community.
Yeah, they did. But as you see, they're trying to get it. Nicole put this out that your mayor is trying to get that $250 million bond to end blight, and we already know what that's about, another theft without it, one shot fired.
Okay, hold on, please. And I'll bring you back in shortly, Rusty. Theo, did you leave me?
You got me.
Oh no, I got you. You on the conference line, but I'm going back. I've gone back to Theo's. Apparently, she hung up. She left. Okay. Rusty, we have a mayor that. Hold on. Sylvia.
Yes.
Would you tell Rusty about that $250 million bond that the mayor wants to bring out for blight?
Yes. Dugan is trying to master spending the vote for people to say yes to give him $250 million bond to end blight. First of all, it was the banks against us that caused us the blight. Why can't they come up with that $250 million to deal with blight? But it's always a cause and effect for profit, and this mayor always have a lot of investigations all around him for probably 20 years now, but we already know white crimes don't shine. So he can continue to play games on the people and, again, use black faces and wherever
family,
he needs them to be placed.
And family, if you want to join this conversation, you can call 313-868-0342. Once again, that number is 313-868-0342. Okay. Hey, Rusty.
Yes, sir.
I was looking for Otis to have been a guest today, expecting him about 9:15, 9:20ish, and apparently something has happened, and we didn't hear from him, nor has he shown up, so we'll let that go.
Oh, can I bring up another issue?
Yes, please.
The people that are attending these meetings, whether it's the police commission meetings or the charter meetings, they are being harassed. They have over-policed the area, and they're harassing elderly people as well. Rusty, have you ever heard of police state planning? My son was in elementary when I started looking at their documentaries, and they foresaw and told us that this is going to be coming. We are over-policed, we are targeted, harassed, and again, it's because of the fine fees and the bodies for them to keep profiting.
What do you think about that, Rusty?
Nothing surprises me nowadays.
Now, excuse me. This is Rusty Jackson of Oakland, California, family. Okay, go right ahead, Rusty.
Let's put things in a historical perspective. Back in the early to mid-70s, white folks started moving to the suburbs to get away from the inner city, away from the crime, away from whatever bad school systems, whatever. Now you see the exact opposite migration, where they're moving back into the inner cities. Why? Because it's in the inner cities where you have the opera, the symphony, the restaurants, the culture,
the water,
the water, the access, the close accessibility to the better paying jobs. Because remember, when people moved out there, gas was still very affordable. Now gas is a lot more expensive. Commute times are a lot more dramatic. So the move now is back to the inner city. Well, what does that mean? That means that when we move back to the inner city, and I'm not talking about black folks, they're moving blacks and Latinos out.
Well,
Yes,
with Rusty, for just a moment, let's take a look at the political climate. Prior to the judge, Lionel Wilson, becoming the mayor, you had the Black Panthers having a lot of influence around those areas, and of course, when Judge Wilson became the mayor, you had folks getting out because now you had your all your offices in the Oakland area were turning black. Even your city council folks were black mostly. So folks didn't want to be in a black.
At one time during Lionel's tenure, I would say that 80% of the department heads were African American.
Yes, that's what I mean.
And that the city ran exceptionally well, and this was a time when the city had to implement the negative effects of Proposition 13.
But my point was, white folks was getting out of town, moving into the suburbs to get away from the fact that now they were under the dominance of black folks.
Yes.
And now you look at where the Bay Area, Oakland is now, and you've got it now has been taken back by white folks.
Hello.
So now it's safe because you remember when Mayor Brown was living downtown and he moved into that Sears building, and he said he wanted 10,000 folks that didn't look like the residents of Oakland, and he'd walk his dog at early in the morning, late at night to show people that it was safe.
Yep.
You remember that?
I do.
Hold on, Russ. Hi, family. This is the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones. You want to get in the conversation? Got to get your first name and your conversation, please.
No, this is Theo. My cordless phone.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, out of charge.
Okay.
But I do agree how the
Speak a little louder, Theo.
I agree how the reverse is taking place, and also if you look at the United States, there is desired control of all of the water around the United States. You know, here in Detroit, you've got beaches being created where Detroit River never had beaches, and all around the country, if you notice, that's what's happening. When you think about New Orleans and the hurricane, it was more than hurricane that hit those people in New Orleans. That was to take control of the water's edge on the Gulf of Mexico there.
Wait,
Theo.
Theo, your voice went down, and we couldn't hear the last part of your conversation.
Okay.
Speak a little louder and repeat yourself, please.
Oh, I was just saying that there is a desire to control the water around the United States. When you think about Detroit, all of a sudden we have beaches where we never had beaches on the Detroit River before. So the desire for luxury living is what's taking place here. It's difficult to get a Section 8 for people, they tell me. If they give it to you, you have to use it outside the city. They give you a year, oh, yeah, you could come back. Who the heck wants to do all that moving around? So that's another gentrification trick that's going on.
But hold on just a moment. But Sylvia, under Ben Carson, they are getting ready to eliminate the Section 8. Is that what you were saying?
If we don't get rid of these Republicans, they're going to go along with Ben Carson's policy, and they will sell those low-income housings to developers. And we already seen in Detroit what the developers will do for you.
Rusty, as we're getting close to the end, what is your thoughts on that?
Again, man, I think we have to galvanize as a community and get behind churches buying those housing projects.
Okay. Hold on.
Rusty.
Go ahead, Sylvia, we're close to the end.
Yeah, I just want to say to you, Rusty, the churches give $1 billion, and they give that $1 billion to white-owned banks across America. And most
Bingo!
These same banks will not give us a loan. We need these churches to create their own loan system, credit union, financial system that will help to build our communities.
All right.
I told you preaching this morning, and Oh, girl, you so right on. It's incredible. You are right.
Oh,
Because
and
individually, they can't do. Well, you got a few mega churches that can do stuff. T.D. Jakes is
Yes.
doing a few things. But you know what? If he was with 3 or 4 other churches, how much more could they do? If
Right.
all the churches came together and started their own bank, how strong would that bank be?
That's right. Credit union is something because they need to build our communities back up. They taking the tithes. They need to make the tithes work for that community.
Billy,
yes.
when I come to Detroit, she's got to be there.
Hey, I'll set it up for you.
Sylvia has to be there.
You know, all I need is a week head up to let me know what's happening because, again, as I told Otis and, State Rep, this is the collection, the collaborative that you guys are putting together. That's not my forte. I just want to know when you're going to be here. I need a week's understanding so that I can make my preparation as well, Russ.
We'll make sure that you get that notice. But
Okay. Oh, by the way. Hold on, Rusty.
Theo's got to be there.
Hold on, Rusty, just a moment.
Yes.
Hold on just a moment. Oh, Theo,
Yes.
Rusty Jackson.
Yes.
Yes.
You remember the young lady that was on the air with me, Michelle?
Yes.
This is her mother.
Okay.
And I do want you to be in contact with Miss Michelle Broden because we're looking for some wonderful, great things politically with her, for her. And I would like for you guys to put your heads together because I'm sure that there are some insights that you can share with her moving forward, okay?
For sure.
And she is just absolutely brilliant. In fact, she'll be here the second week of the coming months, October. She'll be here the second week of October. Okay?
Okay.
Hey, group, you guys have been fantastic today. This is what I'm talking about. This is information television, uncut, there is no chaser because we're giving you nothing but the truth. We're not just giving you just something to make you get all excited and want to make you get outside and do rebel rousing. No, this is information that you can take and share with your family, your friends, and your group. This is the type of conversation on the air that you want to have, family. You don't want to have all that infighting, all that fighting, finding who's the greatest this, the greatest that. No, that's not what we want here. That's it. That's for Not to Talk B. Jones. That's why I'm on a Sunday, to get away from all the other stuff, to create the type of conversation that we want to have over the airways. This is the Talk Beat Jones that you can get addicted to. Jones is an addiction. It's not just my name. It's an addiction. And we want you to get a Jones. You know what I'm talking about, Russ?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, family, we're going to have to let everyone say their goodbyes. Rusty, I have to let you say your goodbye.
Goodbye, all of the Jones listeners.
All right, and we'll see you back next Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, Russ, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye now. Oh, I did it to Theo again. Theo, call me back real quick. I don't have but 3 minutes to call me back. Oh, Sylvia's gone. Everybody's gone. I'm hitting the buttons, and the buttons is cutting everybody off. But family, this has been a wonderful, wonderful time today. Remember, the Talk B. Jones Show, Billy E. Jones, we're on the air again, most times, 8 o'clock to 9:30 on Saturday nights. Now, I know some of you said, Billy, we've tuned in and you're not there. Well, all I can do is tell you what the family here tell me that the show is going to be shown. And if there's a technical glitch, it's out of their hands, out of my hands. But technically, my program is scheduled to be from 8 to 9:30. So tune in and find out. If not, pull it up on the RJ's Watch Party. You can tell your friends they can watch us on RJ's Watch Party, or go to TV33 on demand, and you can pull up the program at any rate. This has been a wonderful, wonderful time, and I love you, appreciate you, respect you, and we're going to give you nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. We're not trying to be like the rest. We want to be the very best when it comes to being the information show for you to help you mentally grow. been a wonderful time. I love you. I respect you. But it's time that I've got to leave you. So, family, just keep being wrapped with love. I am Billy E. Jones, and this has been Talk Beat Jones. We're ready, Mr. T? Love y'all. Gotta go. Bye now. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and